Hey everybody, my name is Phil.
I'm Erika.
And today we're watching The Chosen, Season 3, Episode 7. Let's dive in.
To life!
To life!
So distressed.
No, you can't. What are you doing?
Oh, he's still dealing with it.
You dragging your feet?
Oh, they're going to Decapolis or something?
Every time I look, you're a few cubits farther back than before.
Well, I'm thinking and my thoughts are making my body heavy.
Can you stop thinking and walk?
After what we just saw, we caused a multinational crisis on the verge of erupting into violence. Maybe even war. We might have blood on our hands. People might die because of us.
Yeah, one thing at a time. Yes, hold here. Blood on our hands. It's a little much.
We failed in our mission. Messiah gave us his words, and we didn't deliver. If that doesn't upset you, then maybe it should, Andrew.
Oh, welcome back.
At least someone's happy to see us.
He's a different Philip right now.
Well, for good reason.
Wait, what happened? What happened at the Decapolis?
Our teaching. We made a mess.
We did not intentionally create a mess. We preached the words of our rabbi. And some people took issue. Where is the vinegar?
Oh, it's on the bottom table to the right. You still haven't told me what you did to the Decapolis?
Not what we did.
It's what we said.
To smooth things over?
Sometimes people respond better to stories than to teaching.
Oh, a parable. Oh, good. Which one?
A banquet?
I love a banquet.
It comes directly from Jesus, so it is perfect. Don't misunderstand.
Okay. But what?
But I think, perhaps, Jesus shares it when he wants a challenge.
Were you challenged?
Oh, yes.
Challenged? Yes, the challenge is fair, yeah.
So, there was a rich man who's throwing a big party.
It's this big banquet. He wants everybody to come to it.
So he sent his servant out to all those invited, saying, "Everything is ready, it's time, come."
Only the guests that he's inviting are making excuses.
So, the servant reported these things to the master, and the master of the house became very angry. And he said to the servant, "Go to the streets of the city and bring back the poor, and crippled, and blind, and lame."
So he did, and they came, only there was still room left over in the banquet, so he said, "Go out to the highways and hedges and compel people to come in so that my house may be filled."
You said this to a mixed crowd?
We did not know the extent to which the crowd was mixed.
So go out and find some leftovers did not exactly play well.
Well, it should have. God wants everyone to come to the party.
The master said, "I want my house filled."
The Jews understood you to mean that Jesus was calling for Gentiles, and the Gentiles thought you were calling them second class. And then the conservatives, who lived by Jeremiah, would have heard you saying that the original guests who didn't want to go to the banquet would miss the party. And those, better versed in Isaiah, "Behold, I am doing a new thing," were probably emboldened, except that Gentiles were there.
Yeah, that's about right.
How did you know that?
I am a businessman. It's my job to know people, and I've met all kinds.
I think we may have created a crisis in the Decapolis.
So talk to Jesus about it.
I was just about to suggest that.
We are going to go see Jesus first thing in the morning.
It's funny how the response today is still the same.
Yeah.
Did you go to God about it?
About twice a year.
Thomas. Hello, Matthew.
So happy.
Your relationship is so different now.
Drama return as well.
Hey, how did it go?
Oh no.
It's complicated.
Oh no.
Where's Rema?
Did her dad say no or something?
I mean, he didn't say no.
Oh, we didn't see us.
Rema stayed behind in Taldor.
Yes, Rema.
Rema stayed behind to work on Kafni. He's not a believer.
Jesus? You knew that?
In me.
Huh?
Doesn't believe in me like as a partner.
It's disappointing.
Wait, who, Rama or Kafni?
Kafni doesn't believe.
Yeah,
So
best.
she stayed to kind of talk to him.
Didn't say no.
He kind of hinted he would say yes.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking about
don't know.
that.
It's like, why would he say that?
Is Jesus back?
Yes, he's over at our place speaking to Abba about the olive grove.
We need to speak with him right away.
Wait, why?
Philip, what happened to your foot?
Were you attacked?
Nearly.
By a
A big
rock.
problem with the
I
Decapolis.
thought you were sent to go fix it.
We need Jesus to intervene.
On behalf of Gentiles?
Excuse me. I am sitting right here.
You're different. There are hundreds of pilgrims
Still,
here in
James.
Capernaum. Our own people who haven't seen Jesus for weeks.
I've been studying the genealogy of Jesus.
Sounds exciting.
There appear to be many Gentiles in his own ancestry. Rahab was a prostitute in Jericho who was married to Salmon, who fathered Boaz.
And Boaz married Ruth, who was a Moabite.
We could just let Jesus decide for himself.
Exactly. Thank you, Mary.
She's right. Let's go.
Matthew, I have something I wanted to ask you.
You do?
Yesterday, I was upstairs and I was moving some things around and I came across a box with prayer tassels inside. Why were they hidden away?
Why is unimportant? They were hidden for a reason. Did that occur to you? I'm very glad that you were staying at my old house, but I would ask you to please not go through my personal belongings anymore.
Matthew, wait.
Yeah.
What's going on?
This Jew somehow got past the gate.
I'll handle it. I'd like to interrogate him myself. Are you sure? He's nobody. Go to the entrance and make sure Antiochus is posted there. This never should have happened. I want to know where he was. Yes, Spring.
You could have been arrested. What possessed you to cross into our quarter?
I'd gone everywhere else. This was the last part of town I thought could distract me, you know? The novelty of it.
You couldn't drink yourself into distraction at the Hammer?
What is this?
Oh, his family.
I mean no harm.
Are you the doctor?
The what?
Gaius said there was a Jewish doctor or something that might be able
Olivia, please furnish this man with one of my cloaks. I don't want any more trouble while I see him out of
Wow. Gaius is a believer.
Is something happening with the family?
I don't know, but he obviously believes in Jesus.
Can you help Evo?
Simon, this is my son,
Sibling?
Marius, and Evo is our...
Yeah, you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
The son of your servant.
He's my best friend. He's really sick.
All right, Marius, that's enough. Let's go to your room.
Jewishness isn't contagious, Olivia.
So, he already knows our whole story?
Not all of it. We'll take the back door into the alley and sneak you out a side entrance. This way.
Did he do it?
Not anymore, I don't think.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, true. I don't know. Do you know the significance of the thing that she got?
Please forgive me. It was none of my
You are
business.
the one who needs to apologize.
We'll
Oh, the
find out now.
tassels.
I'm very sorry for my outburst. I explained.
You seem like someone who notices things.
Thank you. Traffic does slow down late on the 6th day.
Because everyone is at home preparing for Shabbat.
Shouldn't you be doing that?
Shouldn't you?
Why didn't you want there to be a line?
Maybe I wanted all your attention for myself. Besides, who wants to wait in a line?
I don't even think it's possible to have incurred this much debt, even in a sudden change of fortune. Wait a minute, what are all these reassigned figures and transfers?
I bought all the debt of my children and my family and put it under my name.
This is such a staggering achievement of financial acumen. I must say I'm impressed. Surely with your brilliance, you have also prepared the way to pay this. Do you have any land? assets, savings. Anything you can sell off to fulfill this unthinkable sum. You will be arrested and placed in a Roman labor camp.
But they will not be able to touch my children. I did all this legally, mind you.
I know. I am astonished. And it will be very unpleasant for you.
Honestly, how long do you think I will last in a labor camp?
It won't get passed down
You are.
to his family after he dies?
Yeah, that's a good
To
point.
answer your question, no. I have no assets.
I have no choice but to place you under arrest.
I understand. Thank you. May I gift you?
Wow.
Gift?
Gratuity. These are the most valuable things I own.
An asset?
More valuable than gold, more precious than rubies.
I may be able to help you liquidate it. We could work together. A ledger coming up this short on a balance this big reflects very poorly on my performance.
These are one of a kind. They date back to the first exile.
Whoa. What?
Made from the world's most exquisite tequila.
But
Still in good shape.
I want you to have them. You chose this occupation. I know you have no use for these now. But someday, you might need them.
More valuable than gold.
Yo, from the first exile?
I kept them to respect the genius of that man. I want to understand things, Mary. Especially inscrutable things that unsettle me. And this was the most mysterious of them all. If I were to get those tassels praised and sold, I would only incur more regret, and I couldn't bear it.
That man wanted you to have his faith. That was the last thing he had, his most valuable thing in the world. And you have it.
Why would he want that for someone like me?
Because sometimes God sends a dove. And the day I met Jesus was the
She
same
followed.
day I was ready to end my life. A dove caught my eye. I couldn't resist following it. And it led me to the place where I met Jesus.
Jesus do that. Even today.
I know you have felt unworthy. But it's time to add a new accessory to your clothes. Or rather, an old one.
Put your hood up.
Took this long.
Maybe it was near sunset.
How long has it been like this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. That boy.
It's none of your business.
Your wife asked if I was the Jewish doctor you told her about. What? You told her about Jesus?
I mean, the boy's been sick for almost a month, and he's getting worse every day.
None of your doctors can help?
You saw the color of his skin. They think less of him because he's a servant.
Honorable, you kept him on when his mother died.
He's not just a servant.
Yeah, your son said they were best friends. It's like having a brother. I understand.
They are. Half brothers.
Oh. You didn't have to offer that info.
Now he's sick, and I can no longer pretend that he's not my son. And neither can she.
So, first you have to pull your, it's easiest if you take your outer tunic off first.
Off?
Yeah, I mean, you have your talik katan on underneath, right? That's where you attach them.
Why do we wear these anyway?
God commanded it in the law of Moses.
But what do tassels have to do with Torah?
The Hebrew letters that spell the word are the numerical value of 600. Plus there are 13 knots and threads used to make the tassels.
And there are 613 commandments in the law.
See? Got it. 613.
And what was your strategy to clarify it?
Well, we told
We tried to tell one of your parables.
Parables? Good. That's what I would have done. Which parable?
The the banquet.
You chose the banquet? People get upset by that one. Of course they do.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, we first considered the wheat and the tares, but we thought better of it.
I already told you. Some people wouldn't understand that parable.
I'm not even sure I understand the wheat and the tares.
Give it time.
The problem is that they did understand the parable, and it caused fights in the street.
Writing.
The prominent Hellenistic priest has changed his ways, which is good, but
Wow.
when he abdicated his duties as priest and leader,
Right.
others tried to fill the void. So projects are going undone, and people are just angry and blaming each other for everything.
It led to stealing, fights in the streets.
What part of the parable caused this fight to break out?
The people outside the city, the ones on the highways and the hedges, the last to be invited and the last to accept the invitation.
That's what I suspected.
Speaking of which, the highways and hedges, does that actually refer to Gentiles?
He who has ears to hear, let him hear. We leave in the morning. Everyone go home, gather your things. We take to the highways and the hedges before dawn.
They're going to Decapolis?
Guess so.
Boys, this is part of it. You try and carry heavy things. Sometimes one gets dropped. But we pick it up and keep going forward. The Decapolis will be perilous. The hearts I must reach there are hard, Jew and Gentile alike. Our time will be fraught.
We are ready for anything, Master. We have Z. I can ask my father to come along for extra help. He's good with crowds.
I want you to stay behind.
Oh.
The rest of us will leave in the morning. You will stay and wait. This is not about the lack of resources.
Well, then what?
Hard hearts, John. Cold, unyielding granite.
I don't understand.
You seem to think that we needed a full group for this trip, hmm? Who was missing at today's meeting? You will stay and wait for him. The success of this trip depends on Simon.
Oh.
Simon is distracted. He's not himself. Something is off. Maybe it's better if he stays behind.
John, I love you. But that's not the approach I take to people in pain. You should know that by now.
What about one of the others? Wouldn't it be better if one of them...
You've known Simon since childhood.
What about Matthew? They were able to work together to find Mary in Jericho.
Did you think that pairing them up for that task was a good idea at the time? John, it has to be you.
To wait for Simon to tell Simon to go?
Or maybe they go together?
I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Andrew's like, let's go!
Shalom, Simon. What are you doing here? Did you sleep in?
I didn't sleep at all.
Simon, what are you doing here?
I'm having a cup of water. I'm thirsty.
Why aren't you on your way with the others? Did they tell you to stay behind and look after the women?
I didn't know about the trip. I thought Andrew and Philip went and sorted it out.
Abba? Don't play games with me, kid. Salome and I were at your bris.
Abba.
Bris.
Circumcision.
Oh.
What's gotten into him?
What's gotten into... Just go get your things. I came here to wait for you.
Really?
Oh, believe me, it was not my choice. If it were up to me, I would have left you behind.
Oh, did someone eat your breakfast, John? What have I ever done to you?
It's what you haven't done.
Oh, second time
You miss meetings? You hang around all night with a Roman official? Your wife doesn't even know where you are?
So leave me behind, like chaff in the wind.
I can't! Jesus said the success of this trip to the Decapolis depends on you. You, of all people. I don't understand it, and frankly, I feel disrespected by it. What am I going to say to Jesus, huh? No?
You could.
You know I can't do that. Let's go.
Terrible time for a trip. Has he even seen her in what? A day, at least? Is he ready for
What
them?
did Jesus say? He was like, you know, that's not how I respond to people in pain. To leave them.
Yeah. What's this?
It's the same guy. I think he's just leading them.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I knew you'd return.
Why are you acting like this?
There's so much unrest and anger. I don't want to draw attention to... You. You must be the rabbi we've heard so much about. The strife between Jew and Gentile was there all along in Abila, just simmering beneath the surface. It's simply out in the open now. It's bound to happen sooner or later.
It was bound to happen now.
Rabbi! Abba cannot hear and can barely speak.
Telemachus, you are out of line. This is not why we need Jesus.
Why shouldn't it be?
Because, Rabbi, there are far greater problems right now than one man's...
I can think of no better place to start.
Didn't mean to spring this on you, I promise. I really didn't know.
Please, Rabbi. I don't mean to disrespect,
I
but...
understand, son. Don't be afraid. That's what birds sound like. They sing.
I don't even hear them.
Wow.
Can you hear me?
The sound of your voice! The sound of my voice! Telemachus!
How does he know how to say his name? Unless
named
he
him.
became deaf.
Telemachus. Am I saying that right?
Yes, it's perfect.
I thought we'd seen the last of you.
Consorting with Greeks, I see.
Nishan, they're here to bring peace. Nishan is a healer. Argo never had enough money for Nishan to heal him, though.
Here to bring peace? That's what they said the last time. You must be the rabbi. You want to dilute our faith.
How do you know what he wants?
Argo.
What did you just say? The town deaf mute?
He's not the town deaf mute anymore, Nishan. Go on your way.
Who did it?
What does he see?
What is it?
Is it all the people who need healing?
What have we here?
Oh,
The
gosh.
Galileans return.
My friends, you seem upset. How can I help you?
Are you the one they called Jesus of Nazareth?
That's why Z isn't
They
like...
say you do miracles. All we've heard is rumors and heresy from the other side of the Sea of Galilee. Show us proof of who you are. Give us a sign.
I mean, the Jews and their long-awaited Messiah finally arrived to cause even more trouble, and this is his army.
Nabateans.
How many is that? 9? I have more children than that. Could I be your Messiah?
Blasphemy. Everyone calm down and settle in. Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
Okay.
I think these are all Jews.
They're from all over the place, right?
Why can't he perform a miracle in the Decapolis from Capernaum instead of dragging us all into mostly Gentile territory that already has it out for us?
Ask him. I'm sure he'd be more than willing to answer your questions since success depends on you being there.
Off it, he's nicer with you than with me. I don't hold that against you, do I?
Oh, how very generous of you. Any other virtues you'd like to lord over me? Simon the exceptional, Simon the distinct? And also, yes, maybe he calls me beloved sometimes, but that's only because you have Eden. I don't know what you're whining about when you have found someone like her. Look, I'm sorry, I went too far. I know I wouldn't want anybody to resent me for having a wife. Hey, Simon. Hey, I didn't mean anything by it. Simon, what's going... What did I say? Simon?
I trusted Jesus.
What did you do?
I trusted that Eden would be okay.
Mm.
Safe while we were gone. I didn't know it, John. But before we all left on our 2x2 missions, we conceived a child. And while we were gone... No. I'm so sorry, brother. When it happened, she almost died along with the baby. There was so much damage, the doctor said she might never be able. But tonight in heaven, why didn't you tell us? Because I'm furious, John. I'm so angry. Look, he is who he says he is. I don't believe it. I know it. He's the first and the last. He can do anything. How could he let something like this
That's not the right way to think about
happen
this.
to Eden? Happen to me?
You're not exempt, Simon. Remember, he said that in this world, bones will still break, hearts will still break, but he's making a way for people to access a better kingdom.
He heals total strangers. Well, I gave up everything for him.
But that does not mean that your life will now be perfect. In fact, he said the complete opposite.
Life was a whole lot easier when we fished.
She still could have lost a baby while you were a fisherman, Simon. We just wouldn't have anybody to turn to.
He could have prevented it, and he did not.
He said, it all depends on you.
Oof. Alright.
I mean, they had to touch this eventually.
Yeah.
Like that theme of like, I've been so faithful, why me?
Well, we talked about that last time too.
Yeah.
In our discussion, like people feeling like they did everything right, so faithful, and then they know God is real. They're not doubting Him.
Yeah.
But it just makes it even more upsetting.
Yeah. 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 It's hard. Yeah, that's really hard. Okay.
Wow.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
And,
We're just trying to
that's
process this
that.
one. There's a lot in this episode.
What else was there? I feel like it really helped to get the story
Which story?
going along. I don't know. Like this is very interesting.
Overall.
Like I don't. I mean, like. I don't know. When I think back to the Gospels, it makes sense that people would be responding this way, but I don't think I recall it actually being illustrated in the Bible, but Jesus definitely alludes to it, that people will be against their own family members and stuff like that. But to see it actually depicted this way makes it very more real.
Yeah, to the point of like being displaced and people are homeless, fighting in the streets.
So interesting. I'm really intrigued to see how this all comes. I don't know. Just like what's next.
Yeah. Is the term Gentile, is that just like a catch-all for anything non-Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay. Because like there was a lot of different types of nationality that were coming, like literally descending upon them.
Yeah.
That was definitely like obviously to like literally show just kind of how they're being come at from all sides. Because they were being closed in on, right? So I thought that was a really nice, like a powerful way to show exactly how that must feel.
I'm really intrigued to see how, because like Jesus and the apostles are like literally surrounded. Like I don't know how they're gonna get out of this one, or like what Jesus is gonna say to de-escalate the situation. Like it felt very heated. Like oh no.
Yeah, I wonder at this point, like, and you've seen so much, I wonder if it's like, well, we're with him, we'll be fine, or at least, I don't know, because like you could be nervous, but I feel like that would be completely different if they didn't know him. Like their response, while still being afraid, they wouldn't be like, oh, maybe there would have been a fight already. Maybe they would have had their fight or flight kind of
100%.
tendencies like already.
With Z there, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
Someone would be injured or
Shivs.
dead by now, yeah.
So many different ways,
For
flips,
sure.
and yeah. So that's really interesting. What do you think of the significance of Peter and this mission, and like this one right now? Why does it depend on him?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I also have no idea. So I'm really intrigued to see.
The only thing that I my mind was going to was like it's going to really deal with what they were just talking about, what he and Andrew were just talking, not Andrew, John,
Mhm.
were just talking about. And I feel like it might have something to do about that idea that like even the broken, even the most faithful can still be broken and all that kind of stuff. I feel like there's some teaching in there
Mhm.
that is going to make all of this relevant, and he's going to be able to like share a testimony or like something that makes him pivotal in this storyline. But I just don't know what it is, because it can go so many different ways.
I mean, like, this is obviously very top of mind for him and everything
Mhm.
that Simon was saying about, like, even though he's in the situation and he's angry and he's hurt and he probably feels resentment and feels betrayed by Jesus, even with all that, like he said, he knows he's the Alpha and Omega.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself is like, yeah, for other people to see, like, wow, okay, so yeah, it's not a perfect life, but this guy still believes that he's who Jesus says he is.
And I think that's why he goes anyway. Like, he's upset. He knows that the situation is terrible with Eden.
Yeah.
And he goes anyway because he knows who Jesus is.
Yeah.
And like he has to. Like, he's just compelled to.
Oh my gosh. And how of God is it to use someone's situation like this to help other people? Oh my God, my mind is mind blown right now. Because he does do that.
Yeah.
And
100%.
it's like, even though, yeah, like that message is preached so much too, that like God will turn your test into a testimony, and
it helps other people.
And yeah. And like the things that you go through, it's not for just for your life, it's actually for other people. And to help other people. So.
Yeah. And I think that's why pain is so
that's just
yeah. I think that's why pain is so, it's such an important emotion that they all experience, because a lot of people feel pain, right? Like, you have to be able to relate to people, right? And yeah, the range of emotions that these 12 face kind of encompass a lot of what they'll encounter while building the church. And I think that's, yeah, it makes them more relatable and gives them a testimony for somebody in the crowd. Right, somebody will pick up on that, and if it's just that one person, that's enough, right? So it's like that's the justification. It does make it easy to go through those things, and I think that might also be part of the frustration, that they understand that part of it too, that I'm going through something tough, and it's going to help someone eventually, but it still sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks.
And like, and you know that this is what
sure.
it's for, but it's like, I still have to go through it. I still have to grieve. I still have to like do all those things, and that might be like a huge burden for a believer, just because like you're faithful and you know you have to go through it. It just doesn't make it easier. There's like no shortcuts through pain.
But like John said,
You have someone to go to.
Now at least.
Yeah, that was really good.
That is so good.
Do you think there's anything beyond the fact that he had a prior relationship with Simon that made Jesus choose John to stay behind?
Probably. I don't know. I feel like he refers a lot to like those three, like the sons of Zebedee and
Simon.
So yeah,
I guess.
maybe.
Yeah.
They have that history. I guess like who else could be talking to
his own brother?
Simon in that way.
But I guess they needed. But I guess they needed Andrew because he had the context of Decapolis. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right, like. But yeah, I don't know.
Man, I'm sure Thomas probably feels a bit similar too. It's like he got Jesus's blessing.
Yeah.
And so because you get Jesus's blessing, you
He's
think
like, oh,
everything's gonna be smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I've definitely been through that too.
Yeah, that must be so interesting because like we as viewers, we obviously know what's coming, like what they're kind of approaching.
What do you mean? Like the passion?
And like the storyline, like just the amount, and Jesus referenced it, like it's going to get more intense from here on out.
Yeah.
And it's like at these moments that there are fractures in faith. And it's going to be interesting to see how the 12 deal with those things as things get dicier.
So interesting you brought that up. Yeah. And I thought, like, with things getting dicier and things escalating, I wasn't thinking about the Jews and the Gentiles. I was thinking about the Jews and the Pharisees.
Sadducees, yeah. Just the political side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting. Like, I didn't even think to take this kind of conflict into account.
I mean, the way that Philip and Andrew kept describing it was like the streets are on fire. Like, it felt that intense, right? Like, you don't see physical fire, but it's like it feels that way. And then you get away from all this, and then you have the Sanhedrin that's coming down on you. You have the Romans that like are just keeping their eye. Like, it's just so much that I don't think I would ever really fully understand just reading it on paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I would have fully appreciated it. I mean, I didn't before. Before watching this.
Even hearing it being taught, right? Like, there's something, and that might be because of like the type of learner that you are. Like, to have it visually portrayed, like, it's really helpful for me, and I assume a lot of people to kind of
for sure
see it and feel it. So, yeah, they've really ratcheted up all the tension, and it feels like the season finale is going to be big.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think we're gonna get.
Oh, they're way too far from like we were thinking like, oh, this is gonna end at like, you know, Jesus getting arrested. We're gonna see the Last Supper and all that,
Not at all.
Unless they like really fast forward through things, which I hope they don't. And I kind of hope they do. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of storyline. And Jesus said it himself in the end of this one. He's like, we're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So interesting. And I wonder what makes him say that. Like, what does he foresee happening there?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out. Okay. Hopefully you enjoyed watching with us. I know there's a lot of things that we didn't even touch on. Mary and Matthew and there's a whole bunch of storylines. But we'll get to them eventually, probably after the season finale. So we will see you then. Peace.